everybody, welcome to the channel. We're going to be talking about one of our favorite subjects, actually the favorite subject, cleaning. I know, right? So excited, especially when it's getting your kid to clean, or getting your ADHD kid to clean, or getting your kid who hates to clean to clean. During this quarantine, does anybody else feel like they are cleaning? Turn around, hot mess. Got a hurricane behind you or a tornado behind you or something, and they are just destroying what you just cleaned. I feel like it's a never-ending cycle. So, what can we do about that? I did some research and I looked for ways that could help kids who don't like to clean or have trouble with cleaning, and we tried some, and some didn't work, and some worked really well. So I put those together into a top 10 list of ways to get your kid to clean. It makes it much less stressful on you and helps your house look much better. So without further ado, here we go.
Tip number 10, a toy purge. The first problem that we came across was the number of toys he had. So after doing some research online, I found several things. Did you know that having too many toys is actually hurting our children? Visual clutter and messes cause a release of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Ever see your child stand there and not know what to do? This is because just the sight of it causes them stress. I know when I see a huge mess, that is how I feel. Why would it be any different for my child? We also ran out of space to store the toys. It started to look very, very cluttered, and no matter what I did, it still looked overtaken by toys, and it still looked messy. So going through and decreasing the number of toys was our solution. The second problem having too many toys is that he had too many options at once. He started to play with one toy and then see another and go play with those. Those items end up being left there, probably because he thought he would go back to them. And that happened over and over again. I found that playing is a way for your child to learn lessons, grow, and to develop. But because he was switching from toy to toy, he couldn't play with one toy long enough to benefit from play. So what's the solution? Rotating our toys. Tip number 9. The first step is to sort all the toys into categories and place them into bins. We ordered Sterilite 12-quart bins with lids. I will post a link below. These bins were then labeled with a category and an associated picture. Labeling the bins helps you to locate the items easier, and the picture will help your child in having a visual of where the toy goes once they are finished. Tip number 8. Find a place where the child cannot get to, or a place that you can lock up. I had an armoire that I was not using, so I utilized that. Inside the doors, I stacked all of the labeled bins. I placed all of my son's sensory bins on top of the cabinet. Once our sensory room is complete, we will have a garage-type cabinet that I can lock up. Our rule is that my son cannot have more than 2 bins out at a time. If he wants another bin, he must switch it out with one he already had. This toy rotation really helps solve our problem of having too many toys, too large of a mess, and him going back and forth between toys without benefiting from his play. Tip number 7. In order for a child to clean, they must be taught how to do so. The first time you want your child to clean up, you should do it for them. Show them what a clean room looks like and how to reach that goal. Make sure they're paying attention. For the next several times, you should work on it with your child and guide them. They will not know how to do it after one time. They will need practice and may need more modeling in case they forget. If they still do not catch on to cleaning process, consider that they may need a different approach. When they are first learning this, I suggest having them just place the items into a bin without categorizing or putting in a specific spot. This is less intimidating and an easy stepping stone into sorting. Tip number 6. Help with the planning. A child that struggles with planning will not know how to complete a multi-step task, like cleaning a room. You may understand that cars go in the bucket and the stuffed animals go onto the bed, but will struggle with what order to do them in and how to transition from one step to the other. Creating a checklist for your child will be very helpful. In our home, we have a dry erase board. On the top, I write the overall tasks, such as clean up your bedroom, and then I put several steps that he needs to complete in order to reach the goal. Before I make this list, I have to look at what actually needs to be done, and then I create the checklist. Today, he has to pick up his Legos, put his clothes in the drawer, and put his large trucks into the bin. As he finishes each task, he can go and check it off and see what the next step is. Try not to put many steps on the list, as it will be overwhelming. And when the goal is complete, you can add some more. Tip number 5, help with the organization. Earlier in the video, I already discussed how to organize bins that are not going to stay in your child's play area. What about the items that stay in the room? Everything must have a specific place to go and a specific organizational system. This will help your child to clean up quicker and easier, as they will not have to think about where to put everything every time they clean up. It will also help your child to find the items quickly next time. In my son's room, he has a lot of books. I mean, a lot of books, as you can see. His books are organized according to topic on his shelf. We have a shelf for his puzzles and his science things. He also has a stuffed animal barn and 2 buckets for large trucks. His clothing drawers are also labeled for the same reasons. It took us a little while to find an organizational system that worked, and he did need help finding where the different locations of the toys were. Once he realized they went into the same place every time, it was much easier. Tip number 4, help get your child started. When my son was younger, before we knew that he was struggling with certain areas, he would just stare at his mess when I told him to clean up, and he would say, "I cannot do it. I don't know what to do. I do not know where to start. My brain's too tired." Well, I would think if you had enough energy to make a mess, you had enough energy to clean it up. Or, what do you mean you can't start cleaning up? Just start picking up toys. But I found out that this is how he communicates that he doesn't know how to begin a task. So getting him started now is essential for him reaching that goal of cleaning up. Some things that I have found that help with him at home is finding a beginning timer. So what I do is I go on YouTube and I look for a visual timer for kids. There's a lot of different themed visual timers that are pretty neat on YouTube. I'll put some links in the description. I tell him that once that timer is finished, we'll be starting to clean up. This really helps his transition from playing to cleaning. A lot of times, kids with ADHD, autism, or other different needs struggle with transitioning. They just can't shift their brain automatically from one thing to the other. They need a little bit of transition time. Then I encourage him to get the checklist to get started. And if he needs help with starting the first one, I'll do it with him. He needs that encouragement sometimes to get started. Tip number 3, help your child manage time. Does it seem like your child takes forever to clean up? Or they're in there for a while and come out only done a couple things because it just took too long and they got frustrated? Are you constantly nagging your child to hurry up, we need to get this finished? I'm right there with you. But I found in my experience that nagging and hurrying my child only makes him more stressed and takes longer, or he completely shuts down. I found that you need to provide your child enough time to clean up their mess for a stress-free cleanup time. Here are some ways that I found that will help your child clean up a bit faster instead of taking forever or giving up because it's been too long. Some of these things also makes cleaning up kind of fun and interesting. And my son asks for them now when we clean up. Make the cleaning up a challenge, like, I can clean up more blocks than you. Or make it a race. I can clean up 10 blocks faster than you can. Or play a cleanup song. There's a lot of those on YouTube as well. Or you can put on one of those visual timers and race to see if you can finish cleaning up a section of the room before the timer or the song ends. Tip number 2, give your child breaks. Remember, this is a lot for your child to process, and they will need a bit to rest their brain. Give them a break before moving on if you see that they are fading or getting tired. Have them do some jumping jacks, read a book, watch a little TV, play a game. Do not allow them to get out more toys. That's going to be counterproductive in what you're trying to do. And when you find your child is good to go and rested, bring them back to cleaning up to reach the goal. Tip number 1, and this is the most important part. If you do not do this tip, you will not be successful in helping your child reach that goal of cleaning up. Keep calm and do it with them. If they see that you're going to help, the task of cleaning is less intimidating and stressful. Eventually, you won't need to help as much, as they will have the ability and the confidence to clean up on their own. Also, remember that if you're stressed out, your child will feel it and will also become stressed out. If you want a positive outcome, you must be positive.
If you found this video helpful, please like our video. We'd love for you to be a part of our family, so subscribe to our channel and hit that bell for notifications of new videos.